We know how music can make us feel or experience something differently, or the aroma of something can help us experience that moment in time differently. So maybe you asked your Alexa to turn some music on or not. So let's just be still here for a moment. If you have silence, know that there is nothing called silence. Well, there's this place on earth that's the quietest place on earth. Even after you put on the headsets, that's the noise canceling. It's completely, I mean, you hear nothing. But here, just take a moment to, is there any sound inside the house? Air conditioner, fan, cats, dog, child, family. Bring that sound closer to you. The breath in through the mouth, out through the mouth, into the nose, out through. Feel the knees sink down just a little bend to your knees, a little tuck to the tailbone. Lengthen the spine. Create in that place in your mind that brings you peace. Let's exhale. Hands draw to heart with the breath in. And we sink back down. Let the palms of your hands face you. You can draw them just as close as you like. Sink down. There's a little bend to your knees. Hear the sound of someone walking out in the hallway. Another drawing up of the life force. Let's sink the arms down. Open up a big hug across America. From the each of us to the each of us. Do you feel any sound inside of you? Snap, crackle, pop in the joints or something? Another big hug for all those people that bring you positivity and connection. And draw the rest of it in there just for you. And as we reach up to the stars, let us lift ourselves up in word and thought. Letting it be a song to your spirit, to your energy, as we song the body. So songing the body, right, from pinky toe to pinky finger, everything lengthens. Always finding peacefulness in the body. Last is here. Let the hands sink down. We come to pause with the hands just below the belly button at the geographical center of you. Let the shoulders get heavy. Hands floating in, sinking down. Now the hands close, we begin with drumming the body so we can help open up the spine. Remember, it's not a forced turn. We don't want to feel any impingement into our back. We want to feel a comfortable feeling. A little bend to our knees, please. Just looking straight ahead, let your waist turn the body. As you push into the ground, if you push just a little bit quicker, you'll feel your arms kind of accelerate and wrap around you, give you a hug. We're trying to tap to the back, to the kidney, and to the front of where our appendix is or was. And that same to the other side. We're going to change the front hand. Remember, it goes up to where the chest and the shoulder tie in. So up top, right? And come across. Still tapping to the back. So here we get to encourage the meridian for our lungs to open up. Same thing we do when we feel a little bit of a cold coming on, right? We tap our chest. Now let's literally give ourselves a pat on the back. We're giving 2 pats on the back, one on the shoulder and one, well, to the back. Let the waist turn. Don't focus too much on getting your hand over your shoulder if it doesn't want to. Maybe just pat you in the front. These are all areas also where our lymphatic system is, so we can give it a little bit of an extra push. Now let's bring it back to the chest, back to the waist. We slow down. We were in 4th gear. Now we're in 3rd. Now we're in 2nd. It's a stick shift, right? And come to stillness. We come back to that extra sound of silence. We heard that rhythmical sound that we were creating through our body, drumming the body. Let the hands float up. We sink back down. There's a little bend to the knees, tuck the tailbone, lift through the spine. Now here we're going to focus on the nape of the neck, right? Between the shoulder blades, slightly higher. And lift that part up. You'll feel the chest kind of round a little bit as you raise up. I turned sideways, but you couldn't tell. It's more of thinking, feeling it draw up. Let the whole body sink down. As you rise and sink, feel through the body, the pressure equal to both legs. Both arms rise up together. A breath up and in. Remember, out through the mouth. Up and in. Down and out. One more this way. Now let the arms go completely heavy. Let the body begin to shift like, but not like we're going to go to our T-step. So we shift the weight over. Don't let the hip go out, right? Fill the spine up. And then we're going to shift back to the other side. Arms are heavy. Shift. And then shift. As you weigh into that leg, we're going to turn to the leg and then turn back to the other leg and then pull the body across and then turn back to the other side and then pull the body back across. We're going to let the waist do the turning, root all the way in, feel the feet go into the earth, and then we float across. Shake the arms out. Don't let them hang on. We have to feel that little tiny bend in the knee. Exhale through the lips. Now here we go. Returning to the light side, when we come back to the dark side, we bring in the foot to our T-step. We take our step out, heel, toe, hinge, come back in. Same side. We come back into your T-step, step it back in however we need to get it there to take it right back out. Now the waist, just let the waist kind of turn slightly towards the toe, and then it's going to come back as you bring your foot back. Breath in, And breath out. Shoulders heavy. Lift up the crown of the head. Exhale. Feel the toe lift. Feel the weight come out of the front heel. We step back in. Legs getting a little tired. It's called, we're going to be building some strength. Remember, when you sink back, the back knee, it has to be bent. If it's straight, you're going to tip over. Let's have 2 more on this side. How's the pelvis? Tucked under? Yeah, 1 more here. And we're going to set back into place, heels under hips. Open up 3 times, gather the chi. Focus, maybe if the leg you stepped away from, right, feels fatigued, think about sinking the energy over to that side. And then don't just think it, experience it, feel it, sink the energy to that side. Either through intention through the mind or intention through the mind and movement of the body that become as real and experience it because it is, right? Now the arms go heavy. We sink the weight into the dark side now. We bring the heel in. So remember, that's like a T, right? So my heel is to my arch and it's up like a kickstand on your bicycle. And then you sink down. If your bottom goes back, you may lean forward or you may feel too much tension in your low back. So tuck the pelvis a little and here we go. Breath in, step, exhale. We draw back in. And when you come in, the waist turns back slightly, almost like your belly button's just to the inside of your big toe. And then we step back out. Now this rotation can be as little or as great as you like. It can be like brushing knee, or it can be like parting the horse's mane. Just as long as the waist is doing the turning. Inhale, bend your knee. Exhale. I've been focusing on the 6th. Now we have the 7th, right? The nap of your neck. And it feels drawn up. So it's being drawn from back here and lifting through the crown of the head. So we create a little concave area. Now, depending on what your strength is in your legs, you can continue to take a longer step out or shorten it up. Right? It'd be the same thing as if I said, well, we're going to do 12 repetitions with a lighter weight, and then 10 with a heavier, and then 8 with an even heavier. So maybe you have to shore your foot up a little bit because maybe the leg's becoming fatigued. We have 2 more. A breath in, the turn away, the exhale, we go out. Last one is here. Come back to sink the chi. Listen to the sound of silence, or the sound that you chose to listen to during our practice. One more here. Where are you sinking? Where's your mind guiding the energy to go? Let it have purpose. Come to pause. Feel. Breathe. So let's check our 7, right? Knees have a little hinge. Tailbone is a little bit tucked. The spine is lifted. The shoulders are heavy. We feel the nape of the neck drawn up just a little. And during the movement, we allowed our waist to do the driving. So hands float in, sinking down. Palms open up, the letter W, right? So we open up. Now pause here just for a moment. Give me your best letter W. And in the elbow, right? In the elbow, it should not be back, right? And not be the other way. It should just be relaxed right here. If for any reason that's uncomfortable, then go to where it is relaxed and just know that that is the proper alignment. The palms of your hands, if you brought them straight in, would go to your ears, right? So if they don't, something to work on. Let's bring it into the heart, down to the waist. We sink down. The palms open, rise, breath in. Remember your wrists, the height of your shoulders. Sinking down. Feel the balance to both legs. Relax the hands. The hands are really doing nothing right now. They're going along for a free ride. Maybe you feel a stretching or lengthening into the chest or shoulders, or you're pressing, gathering this chi of each other, right? Human energy as we open up and gather it from around us and sink it through us. Still, the hands are doing nothing. The shoulders lift the arms. The triceps extend the arms. The biceps bring the hands in. The hands do nothing. Rise for a breath in. This time we sink down, but reach back towards me. So we're going to make a wave. Just the one time though. So we're going to ward off. Let's go to the dark side over here. I got to find another name for that. Always come back to Star Wars. Let's embrace the full moon. Now we're going to step out this direction. And we're going to do about 10 times if I keep count. All right. Parting the horse's mane. Now, during this time, I invite you to explore what you do with the legs, right? So maybe you step out a few times, then you leave the foot in place a few times, this type of thing. Or you just leave the foot here, and then you focus on what the body does to find flow in the arms, okay? So here we go. Here's your moon. A breath in. There's that turn we talked about, right? There's your kickstand. And let's part the horse's mane. Wave hands like clouds. Stepping back in. And again, shoulders heavy, waist relaxed. Wave hands like clouds. Stepping back in. If you'd like to stay with me and continue the stepping, please join me. If your body has other intentions for you to find how this movement flows best for you, now is the time to explore. Less expression with the hands. Exhale through the mouth. There you are. Let the shoulders get a little bit heavier. Remember, the front knee always has a hinge, but the heel of the front foot never comes up unless you bring it back. Let's have 3 more, okay? 3 more. Let the hands sink down as you step back. Gather the chi 3 times. So in traditional strength training, you would take a short pause between sets if you become fatigued or if you're setting the weight workout to be such. One more here. Arms reach back to me. Now we're going to pull over here to the light side. There's your moon. Bring in your kickstand and let's step out from T-step to parting the horse's mane. Let's do 2 or 3 with the full footwork and then decide where your body wants you to go after that. It can be the same for more. Think about the 7. How's your body working to try to hold those positions in place? So the knees always have a bend. The pelvis always has a tuck. The crown of the head is always lifted to the stars. The shoulders are heavy. The waist is turning us. The nape of our neck drawn up slightly. Relax the hands. Turn them off. Wiggle the fingers if you need to, if you're not sure, right? Two more times. Arms sink. We step back into place. Gather, whichever way you like. There's 3 in there. This is my 3rd. Come to pause. So our next is going to be a little more challenging. White crane spreads its wings, which I found out today is also a movement in Tai Chi called pushing against the heaven and earth, like in the Qigong movement. Different names, exact same movement. They got there a little differently. Hands float in, sinking down. Now let's just open up our wings. Let's bring in the light side down to hold the bottom of the moon. We turn away, right? So we can bring in our kickstand. So remember, this is your empty step, like you're going to go down the stairs. So you can tap the toe, but the hands float up. We're going to make it easy here, okay? Everything's just going to press rewind, come right back in. A breath in, put a little bit of weight to the ball of the foot. Let this elbow sink. There you go. And then let it rise. Like someone's pulling it up. And the other someone's pulling down. Everything just flows. Breath in, a little weight to the foot that you brought in. Exhale. Breath in. Remember, the waist turns from away of the direction you're going now back to the direction you're going now, right? A breath in. One more here. You can lift up out of the bending of the knee if the leg's catching a little on fire. Sink and open up. Let's fly away. Bring the heels back underneath your hips. Gather. 3 times, whichever way you want it to be. Focus energies maybe into that leg that we just used to stabilize. One more. Let the hands float in the direction over here to the dark side. Roll back to embrace the moon. And here we go. White crane spreads its wings. Sink, tuck, lift, right? All these things, set it and forget it. That's what Ron Popeil said about the rotisserie cooker that he had. Set it, forget it. Breath in, heavy, heavy arm, right? Sink, breath in. Exhale. Remember, when we bring our foot in, put a little bit of weight to the ball of the foot. Give you a little reprieve of the tension in the leg, and out you go. Maybe focus on something different each time. What's the top hand doing? What's the bottom hand doing? How do the arms express themselves like the wings of the crane? What do you need to do for that rooted leg not to fatigue out for 3 more movements? Just like when we're lifting, the extension or the exertion is the exhale. So we sink down, exhale. 1 more. And let's step back in to fly away. Gather the chi. I'm going to reach up this time. Come back to focusing on the structure of you. One more, whichever way you want it to be. Let's come to pause for a moment. Let's take an inventory of what we feel through our body now, from the temperature to what, if any, sounds we are listening to outside. Did you hear any sounds inside of you? Like your breath is a little bit more rapid. So here's a fun one. This is going to be a little bit faster, right? And it's brush, knee, push. Think about the transition movement, making a big movement of waving hands like clouds, right? So let the hands sink down. Let's float up. Let's pull over here to the dark side. And we're going to step out to brush knee, step back in, big wave hands like clouds, step in and then out. So that's the tempo. In, out. In, out. Each step should be sure. The breath and movement all join as one. Let's give our eyes attention to the rising hand. You've got the movement. You've been doing it for years, if not months. So you know what it is. Find where your step is on this side. We got 4 more. It's your 4. I'll do my 4, and if they match up, that's fantastic. If you get an extra, even better. I got 2 more. Waving hands like clouds is nothing new. What's new is the number of times we do it on the same side. Here we go, last one. Now let's ward off. We're going to stay here with the warding off. The legs get a little bit of a break. Now everything is still hinged, right? Feel the waist, turn. Feel the waist, turn. How much more can your body create a wave kind of feel? Not looking at me, but looking at the hand that is closest to you. And then as the hand trade places, look at the one that's closest to you. Now here we go. We're going to go to the light side. So stay with me. Slow down if you need to. Roll back, embrace the moon, step in, and at that faster pace, right? There's brush knee, we step back in. Brush knee. Remember, it's the greater turn in the waist. At least that's what I call it, because it's a greater rotation from parting the horse's mane. Now we're moving faster. We should still notice slightly about those 7. And just check. I mean, you obviously you can't use a mirror to check this one, but is your tongue touching somewhere in the roof of your mouth? That's 8. Are you somewhere in your mind doing this movement? That's 9. The upper and the lower body continue to grow together fluidly as one piece. That's 10. The rooting into the body through the feet is 11. Last one. Now, wave hands like clouds. Leave the feet in place for now. Heavier shoulders, the elbows, and the knees. We'll call that 12. I think in this order or the structure in which the ancients put this together, the knees are separate because the elbows want to feel drawn but always hinged, but the knees always want to feel bent. So that's your 12 principles or tenets of Tai Chi. What makes it separate from other martial arts and just other movements in general. Here we go. The hand that rises is the foot that comes in. If you have the room and you'd like to do so, you can take a longer step out. But remember, the knees have to hinge in order to do that. Take another step in. Now, feet stay together. If your feet are apart, stay there because that's what's next. Here we go. Gonna go back. I'm gonna take 3 big steps right here. Actually, I'm not. Well, here's my 3rd. We're gonna go back and do it again. That's right. That's only 6. It's nowhere near as 10. So we'll get 12. It's a good repetition number. Here we go. Feel the body pulled all directions. Remember the song? Wherever that song is that you want to sing to yourself, but at the same time, we want to feel like the body is expanding through the energy. Here we are, feet stay together. Just stay right here. Now go back to the dark side 1 step. Release the tension in the hands. They may have tried to hold on to the air. Feel what goes through the fingers, the emptiness. The hand that comes down, now it's done. The last cloud in the sky right here. It comes down, it's done. Come to stillness. Let the arms go completely heavy. Now there's a little bend to the knees, right? So I'm 6'1", now I'm 6 foot. So take an inch off of your height, sink down, tuck the pelvis, lengthen the spine. Feel the shoulders heavy, soft belly, right? So we feel the abdominals extend when we breathe in. We feel the pressure of the lungs pushing to the ribs. Everything expands. And float up. It's time to grasp the sparrow's tail. So let's pull over here to the TV side, the dark side. The waist turns, not leads, right? The waist turns, then we roll back. And the bottom hand sweeps up. Remember, see how it brings the bottom foot in, and we take our step out. Now that's all. We're not going to pull and push. We're going to roll back in, stepping back in. And then stepping back out. Hands, remember the arms open the width of your shoulders, so we're not opening up like we're swimming, right? Straight ahead, and then roll back gentle like. Stepping back in, breath in. Let the hands brush just over top each other. Feel the palms and the fingertips just grace across the top of the other hand, right there. Maybe feel, if you got hair there, maybe feel the hair. One more. Pull across the sky. Stepping back in. Same movement, other side. Feel the difference, if there is a difference. Stepping out, and we'll bring it back. It's just going to open up. We're not going to push the mountain. We're just going to grasp the sparrow's tail, come back in. Open up. So in the explanation of what I saw today of grasping the sparrow's tail was holding the peacock, because this pulling down here was brushing the peacock's feathers. There's the greater turn in the waist, just like we did on brush knee. One more here. Now let's pull across the sky, stepping in. Elbows draw in. Hold the moon. One time to grasp the sparrow's tail, then we're going to stay with pushing the mountain. So here we go. Push the mountain. We're going to step in, and then we're going to step out. The fingers lift, then they relax. You can pull down, rise and push, or you can pull in, sink and push, or you can just bring the elbows to meet the side of the body and then push. One more here. Leave the arms extended, pull them across the sky, stepping back into place. Repeat, bring the foot in, sink all those structures we talked about, and push your mountain. Release the hands when you come back. We have to turn off the fingers. Where's your breath? You have to take a shorter step. Legs feel a bit fatigued. Two more. Bring the hands back to you and I. Turn the palms to you. Sink the chi. 3 times, please. Take a pause. Take a tour through you. However you like, from the bottoms of the feet to the crown of the head, or left to right, or front to back. What's going on? Find where there's a space that might feel tension. So if you feel tension, find a place where you feel relaxed physically. Try to bring those two together. Let the relax take over the tension. Let the tension know it's okay to relax. Like the breath in to the breath out. They find a middle ground in your lungs. And then they just let go, right? Hands float in, sinking down. Now, hands come in, turn the palm over, repulse the monkey. So give me a high five, give each other a high five, right? And then we turn the hand up when we open up. Everything rises here, not the hands, right? But you lift up through the crown, right? We sink down. The hands turn off, the forearms turn the hands. We breathe in, we look to the hand away from the camera. We watch it float in as we feel our bodies sink. Feel the forearms, turn the hands, the shoulders, lift the forearms. In our minds, we lift ourselves up, sinking down. Depending on the strength we have left in our legs, you can sink a little further than our usual practice. But we have to leave our tailbone tucked. That might change your range of motion. So when you sink down, you should feel your head being pulled right up, right? And then as you sink down, you feel your feet kind of, if the ground was soft, right? Your feet kind of feel like they're sinking into the ground. And we lift. Now we're going to add in one thing. The only thing we can really add in, a heel lift or a foot raise. Now notice when your body lifts, perfect balance for you. No wobbling, no up quick, down fast, or up slow, down fast. It's wherever your balance is. Even if you just point the toe to the earth and then sink back down. Find where your perfect balance is to both sides. Not that both sides perfectly match each other. Remember, the supporting leg still has to have a bend to it. Never does a leg go completely straight. Even when you're doing the lotus kick, there's still a little bend in the knee. Three more, please. Find the fluidness of the movement. You and the movement become one. There's no thought about the movement. It just is. You just are. Let us just be. One more. Let both arms open up to the side. We're flying away. 3 times, sink the chi. Whichever direction you want it to be. Maybe even bringing the hands close, almost like touching the hair gently. Maybe you can feel that radiance of your energy as it draws across you and through you. Come to pause. Is there any place new that feels lighter or less strained in any way than before? Feel happiness in that area, comfort. And that's 3 times to finish this moment in time with each other, for each other. And let that calmness cloak us on the outside. Let peacefulness fill us on the inside. Lengthen our spine, our mind, our breath. Song the body as these movements, well, sing a song to us. As we think about those people, places, things, thoughts, and ideas that bring us health, healing, hope, and happiness. To our minds, our mental energy. To our hearts, our emotional energy. And into our bodies, our physical energy. Draw it in, sink it down to your atomic level of all and who and what you are. And with that, a wonderful thank you to you all. It's been a pleasure. I hope you're tired. The legs are like, wow, I don't want to do that again, but I know I want to because it's good for me.